Yeah.
But we're going to start the show off with Victoria Lorient-Faibish. And
Hello.
Victoria, welcome.
Hello.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. How are you guys?
We're great.
Good. That's a very interesting name. Victoria, how do you say the last part?
Lorient-Faibish.
Now, Victoria, so
Yeah.
you've got a book, right?
Brand new book. Yay.
I've got it right here, Find Your Self-Culture. And I really love the artwork.
It's
on
really
this
nice,
book.
isn't it? It's beautiful.
We
I'm very
talked
proud of it.
a little bit about it before, but it's kind of like a person carving themselves.
Chiseling themselves out of concrete to reveal the true self.
Yeah.
The true, authentic self-culture, as opposed to family culture or country culture. It's self-culture.
Okay, so that's an interesting concept. And,
Yeah.
and the book is subtitled Moving from Depression and Anxiety to Monumental Self-Acceptance.
That's right.
I
So-
love that. Monumental.
Monumental.
Not just self-acceptance, monumental.
Absolutely.
self-acceptance.
Profound and
Yes,
monumental.
Yes.
So what is this idea of a self-culture? Because when we think about culture, we think that it is a collective thing. We're
Yeah.
part of a culture, right?
Culture lives largely in our mind. I mean, it's a collection of habits and practices that are passed down generationally, and they're kept alive by our thinking and our repetitive experiencing of different rituals and traditions. But what I find is that people sometimes are subjugated to the family culture or to the country culture, and then their own self-culture is lost in the mix, and they end up often depressed, anxious, unable to really step into sort of a life purpose experience. And I see that for over 20 years in my office, and I started to really see that, there's an opportunity for people to find their true self, but that seemed to be maybe sometimes people feeling like it's a narcissistic pursuit. And so I say, this is not narcissism when you find your self-culture. This is an opportunity to have a person fill their own cup first, create an overflow, and then give to others from that overflow. And then they can actually participate in their community in a non-resentful way if they fill their own self-culture first.
So when you're talking about filling your cup,
Yeah.
what do you fill that with? What does that look like?
Vitality, you fill it with correct boundary setting. You say no when you want to say no. You say yes when you want to say yes. You find a set of patterns and rituals and ways of being and thinking that are innate to you, that are absolutely innate to you, and not feel that it's selfish. I use this interesting juxtaposition of the word selfish, which people go, I don't want to be selfish. Judeo-Christian
Yes.
Teachings, don't be selfish, better
Yes,
to give than to
yes.
receive, etc. I say this concept called, it's funny, I came up with this word selfie with a Y as opposed to an IE, because I found out later that the young people were doing selfies. But no, I say selfie as in fill yourself with a sense of selfiness, which means you are fulfilled with a sense of self-preoccupation, so that you go, what do I need? What do I want? So that you're not blaming the world constantly and going, I didn't get what I wanted, and you didn't give me what I wanted, and you're to blame for what I don't have. It doesn't get you anywhere. It gets you nowhere fast, in fact.
So is this book about how to go and fill that cup with your
Absolutely,
selfie?
yeah. So in the book I talk about overcoming anxiety, overcoming depression, managing, and actual techniques that I use in the office that are very, very easy and very user-friendly, and they really do work. And also I talk about how to relate to other people. Where are you going to put your friends? Where are you going to categorize your different friends? Or are you just going to be an open, free-for-all and have no boundaries, which I find is the fastest way to deep and profound unhappiness.
And do you find, Hugh, do you have any questions? Because I'm dominating here.
Well, I have a whole bunch of questions.
Let me
Okay, go
hear
ahead.
you.
Well, okay, so this book emerged from your 20 years in your practice,
Yeah.
right? As a life coach or
I'm a
what's
holistic psychotherapist.
Okay.
And I have a
Wow.
master's degree in educational psychology.
Okay.
But I also have 8 years of education in Eastern philosophy-based body-centered body-centered work, somatic work.
Okay, so as a holistic psychotherapist, it's like somebody's got problems, they come to you, right? And you're going to approach it in a holistic way.
Yeah, because I don't think
right?
talk therapy on its own works, I have to say.
Well, okay, so this is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Because some people even say that psychiatry is dead. right? Because it's
Well,
all about
Medication.
prescriptions now,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
There's, what is the approach to somebody who is suffering in that way that's actually going to help them to make some progress? And it sounds like what through your experience and the other things that you bring to your practice, that you've found something that you put down in this book.
That's right. So the practice is a combination of traditional talk therapy with body-centered modalities. The two together seem to be incredibly transformational. So that the trauma lives in parts of our brain that intellect doesn't reach. And we've got to access that particular part without having a story being told from the intellect. It doesn't change. As people arrive in my office years into therapy going, but nothing has changed. So
And that's because they've talked therapy.
they just talked about
Okay,
it. They talked it. And sometimes that drives the trauma deeper. So body-centered work, I do polarity therapy and craniosacral. I'm a Reiki master. I do somatic focusing. Just a lot of really cool modalities that really, really work to transform neural pathways in our brain that are associated with hard and fast beliefs about something.
So for that body-centered portion, what does a person do? Because I would imagine talk therapies, you're sitting and you're talking.
Right. I have a great massage table at the office. People
Okay,
are clothed.
okay.
They're on. So we're doing a combination of work on the table while talking.
Okay.
So we're
Is
doing
it touch or non-touch?
both,
Okay,
absolutely
okay,
both.
okay.
And then a lot of visualization, because it is
Okay.
so important to work the brain and to really transform how you see. It's like a muscle that needs to be really kind of massaged and worked on through visualization. I also work with somatic focusing, which is going to the area of tension, pain, whatever it may be, and looking to see what wisdom it has to offer. People are, accessing their subconscious pieces of their being much faster that way. Eyes closed also. Eyes closed, yeah. Multisensorial. Whoops, sorry, don't want to hurt the microphone.
So,
Yeah.
okay, so my question is, what is the difference then between somebody who is going to your office and undergoing what you do in your practice versus the information that's in the book here?
Yeah, good question. I mean, the book is basically everything I do in the office on paper. I started this book in 2007 when I started recording videos on YouTube. I have over 80 videos, and I was like, who knew people were so hungry for this information? I have over 370,000 views on that site. It's like, wow. So I talk about everything that I talk about in the office, and then those videos became transcriptions. Those transcriptions became the basis for chapters.
Wow.
And these are the chapters. And then I have, it's like amazing. You develop, as a therapist, you develop a system to work with anxiety, or a system to work with boundary setting, or a system to work with, dealing with depression, natural treatments of depression. Let's just not have that one person in front of me hear about that. I want, people to be, and it's user-friendly. You can read the book and go through different exercises. I talk about techniques, exercises, case studies. So it's very much something that the reader can take themselves through. And I give them also some body-centered, we have a really kind of cool bone here called the piezoform right at the base of your wrist here. And if you press into that, actually massage that area.
Can you show that?
Yeah, right there. And there's a little bone, it's a knob, and you press on that, and it actually generates some relaxation in your system. It's great in a traffic jam.
I think here.
Here.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Right there.
Okay,
Yeah,
you did
that's
have
the
it.
one.
Sorry,
you were
sorry,
on,
I was on this
you're on
side.
it. You're on it,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
You go to the bottom of your pinky, and right at the base of your palm, there's this great little bone. And it's I tell people to hold on to that as they're feeling just hold on to it. Just hold, and just sort of breathe with it. And it tends to bring a relaxation response, which is really what this type of work is all about. You're talking about all this trauma. I talk about that in there, techniques to do that. Trauma that are very scary and, sort of energizing and fear-producing. But you're creating it you're speaking about it in a relaxed way. You're talking about things that are traumatic in a relaxed way, so you create a new neural pathway experience, a new brain experience when you're dealing with something that's scary.
So, okay.
You have a question,
Oh,
too.
God.
Well, I'm thinking,
Yes.
Victoria, because what I was thinking was, this idea of having a self-culture, because you know, going back to that idea that a culture is like a collective thing. I mean, I can see potentially where somebody who's finding their self-culture may find themselves at odds with
their
the dominant
community.
Culture out there,
Yeah.
or what does that mean for culture as we've come to understand?
Well, it's not about
up till now?
rejecting, not a wholesale rejection of your family culture or your country culture, but it's also not disappearing in it. It's allowing yourself to shine in it and feel a sense of empowerment in your thoughts and feelings and opinions and feelings about what it is you're doing on the planet. Okay.
Well, I
was going to say aloneness can come from that, but you got to bring forth your cheerleaders and bring forth your own fellowship. You can't just, you're right, be an island. But it's not about waging war against anything. It's about something of an integration.
So you can still be, follow a certain religious path or a certain...
Oh, totally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's finding your own unique, authentic voice within the larger setting.
Because I'm thinking too, you know, people talk about you grow up, you get thrown into whatever culture that you're
you don't
born
have a choice.
into,
Yeah.
and you have to, you know, you're told, no, you can't do that,
Yeah.
you got to do this, it's got to be this way.
That's right.
You're kind of brainwashed to become part of that culture, right?
I agree. Ding, 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 ding.
I've always thought that culture
Ding, ding,
was
ding,
just
ding, ding,
another
ding, ding.
word for brainwash, actually. I've always thought that. Culture
is?
is just another word for brainwash.
Well, it is exactly that, because we're born, we have our parents, and they have the generational stuff, and then here, is that going? Sorry about that.
we don't want it to touch the
Yeah,
mic
no problem.
thingy.
Sorry about that. You've got all that incredible influence, and you just do that, and hopefully it works for you. If it works for you, awesomeness. But it's a gamble if it's working for you. If it doesn't work for you, what do?
You come and see you.
Or read my book.
Or read the book. So the book's not out yet, or is it?
Oh, it's out, yeah.
Oh,
self-culture.com.
Because I know you're having a big event
Big book
on the
launch.
November
A book launch?
27th,
Yeah,
right?
Wednesday, yes, please. It's at Grano. It's please join if you want. RSVP at thatprthing.com. And I know, isn't that funny? Anyways, but you can get it at self-culture, and information about the book launch as well at self-culture.com.
Self-culture.com.
Or self-culture.com. And it's put it this way, if you're not happy in your life, look at yourself and go, what's happening with me? Don't blame the outside world. What's happening with me?
See, that's a tough one, Victoria, because I've always...
Because you want to blame everyone? No.
I've always blamed
Oh, yeah.
society. It's society's
But how do
fault.
you win that way? It becomes this incredibly de-energizing, depressive concept. I say empower yourself.
It's disempowering, yes.
Completely.
It's very disempowering. You see, you
Empower
have
yourself.
bookends that are telling you how disempowering that is.
How does it help you to blame the culture, the society at large?
Then I know it's not my fault.
And
But
then
does that make you
helps
happier?
how?
Yeah.
How does that work for you? Tell me, please illuminate me.
It just works. No, of course I'm just
You're kidding. Yeah, I gotcha. But many people think that way, as I'll just blame. And they're not joyous, and they're not, in my opinion, living the life the universe intends for them. And I believe there's a paradigm shift going on right now on the planet, if we're going to kind of go a little bit woo-woo.
Yeah, let's do that.
You know, like go a little
We're
woo-woo.
all about
Oh,
woo-woo.
Okay,
Wait.
good.
Yeah.
All right, so there's a paradigm shift going on right now, and I believe that the universe is saying, get on board with what the heck you're supposed to do on this planet and start doing it.
Or you're missing this ship, Earth ship, you're off the ship.
Absolutely. You're missing what's really going on. And what's really going on is we need to help the planet. The planet is in dire need of people who are luminaries, who are, living empowered lives, and that's what we need. Or what? I don't know what to say with the or what, but that's what we need. I think it's urgent, I think it's important, and I think that we are tasked with finding our self-culture so that we can be joyous individuals, not living out of resentment, and then from there we can help other people.
Beautifully said.
That's what I believe.
Can you do that, Hugh?
Oh, he's staring at me now like I'm a freak.
No,
I think you're doing that.
You know
I
what?
think you're doing something amazing with that channel. You're doing the same thing. You're bringing a voice to people, like us.
And I think you're giving him a lot of food for thought. I think he's contemplating.
I wasn't looking at you like a freak.
Okay, good.
Victoria.
Thank
He's
you.
thinking, oh my God, I have lots of work to do. That's what I think he was thinking.
Or yeah.
Or yeah. All
You're
I
not
know,
even sure.
all I know, Hugh, is
Yeah.
that, you know, like attracts like, and I'm here in your presence.
Yes.
We are here
awesome,
in your
girl.
presence.
Awesome.
And so that means that there's something in you that is absolutely moved and drawn by these concepts.
Yeah.
And the planet needs us.
Well, you know, I mean, think of it. Just think about it. Because
You want to think of it and show my book?
well, I got to show it again. Well, there it is. Okay, there you go, Victoria.
Thank you.
But no,
The
what I'm
coolest
getting at-
cover ever.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Basically, what you're saying is that anybody who's feeling depressed or anxious
Yeah.
or just not happy
Right.
with the way things are going in their lives,
Right.
that they are a good candidate for this book. Does
Absolutely.
does it matter if they're men or women?
Doesn't matter, men, women,
Okay.
young, old, it doesn't matter.
All right.
Who do you find is your most common?
You know, it's interesting
Is there-
because some of the videos I direct toward, you know, university age students, you know, trying to come into their own. What am I about? Who am I really? What is it that I like? What is it that I don't like? And then there's people in their middle age who are like, oh my God, I've
What have I
landed here
done?
and now what?
Yeah.
You know, divorce or whatever it is. What's life all about really for me? So it doesn't really matter. And then I've speak with people who are dying, you know, so dying and on the end of their life, so they can benefit from it as well because of the anxiety, the techniques to help with anxiety and depression and
So when
self-love.
people walk away from, well, first of all, how many, I know we're here to talk about the book, but for you do the sessions, how
Yeah.
many sessions before somebody notices some sort of change in their happiness level or self-acceptance level?
Oh my gosh, it really depends on the person, but the work is very transformational and very quick. So within a couple of sessions, people are already starting
Starting to feel
to
something.
feel the language and understand the languaging of this new concept called I get to be self-culture oriented. I get to take personal responsibility for myself. Oh my gosh. I don't have to blame my mother, my father, you know, my universe, my society. You know, I get to actually move things
Own
for my
that,
own self.
yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's good. Now, I'm looking forward to reading this book.
Okay.
And other people can RSVP and go to the book.
She never said you
Well,
could have it, Hugh. She just said you could show it on the air.
I'll sign it for you and you can have it. Yeah.
Thank you, Victoria.
You're welcome. Self-culture.com.
Okay, and from there's links to, if they want to go to the
The
event
book
on
launch,
the 27th.
which is on the 27th of November, Wednesday at Grano 6 to 9.
Where you'll sign books for people?
I will sign books for people. I will do a talk as well.
Yay.
So you'll get to have a talk. You know, eat the great food of Grano and also have a drink. And just come and celebrate with me. It's my first book. I really want you to. So
It seems amazing.
I
Yeah.
think it is. I really am super freaking
You
proud
must
of
be
it.
so, well, yeah, especially super freaking proud, especially after what, 2007 you said?
Yes.
So that's 6 years. Going on
It's been a while, and I've been in practice since 91, so
Wow, good
hello.
for you.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, Victoria.
Nice
thanks
to
for
meet you
coming in
guys, or
today.
see you guys again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you too.
Wow.
And I'm looking forward to the 27th as well. So,
I know.
okay, so that's Victoria. Now what we're going to do now, Melanie Peterson and her band is here, and they are all set up, ready to perform. And we're going to have a song by them and come back with Lauren Ashman.
The
as
music
Liquid
is
Lunch
feel
continues.
good.
I get to wake up gently every morning, slip my slippers on and slip downstairs to hear the robins, the sparrows, the blue jays singing their song out the kitchen window. Sometimes I just stand there thinking, whoa, whoa, it don't get better than this. Whoa, 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 I have been given a gift. Whoa, whoa, you can read my mind from the next room.